Welcome to Project 10. So what this is going to do is fix the iTunes store for iTunes 11. So the first thing you're going to want to do is install a piece of software called Legacy Update. So what to do is completely update Windows XP for you. So to start, hit Install Legacy Update, hit Run, and then Run again. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure Root Certificate Store Update is installed, Legacy Update is installed, and since I already have Legacy Update installed, there's going to be two more options, and one of them is going to be Windows Embedded 2009 Update. You're going to want to install those two. So simply click Install. For you guys, there's going to be way more updates than just these. But for me, there's only these updates because I already have this system fully up to date in preparation for this video. So just simply hit Review and Install Updates, and then Install Updates to finish installing whatever updates you need to install. The next thing we're going to do is simply install our root certificates. So we are going to go to Windows, Control Panel, Okay, so the next thing you want to do is install the root certificates update. So the first thing you're going to do is open Control Panel, and then you're going to go to your network and internet connections and find Internet Options. You can also access Internet Options by going into Internet Explorer, Tool, Internet Options. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is open the certificate window by going to the Content tab and Certificates. Select the Trusted Root Certificate Authorities part, and then click Import, Next, and then you're going to hit Browse. So then you are going to go to your desktop, Root Certificates, and you're going to want to change this. You're going to install the Windows Root SSRT file, or SSD, there you go. So you're going to start by installing Windows Root, click Next, place all, finish, see the import was successful, then select the immediate ones, hit Import, Next, Browse, and then again you're going to change this to SST, and then you're going to do the Windows Immediate one. Yep, just click Finish. And then all the root certificates are installed. Let's move on to the next step. Alright, so with root certificates installed, we are finally going to install our version of iTunes 11. So if you have a 32-bit version of iTunes 11, you are going to install iTunes Setup 32. If you have a 64-bit, you are going to install iTunes Setup 64. Now, please note, with iTunes, these iTunes installers are not modified the slightest bit. If you want to download these directly from ipsw.me, you are most welcome to do that. It'll still work. So, install your version of iTunes. Okay, so once the iTunes installer has successfully finished, you're going to uncheck Open iTunes after installer exits, and then click Finish. Now, you're going to need to replace the iTunes.dll with this one. The only difference between this one and the regular DLL is the version number that it reports out when it is sending a request through the iTunes store. So go to Local Disk C, Program Files, and find iTunes. Once you are here, you're going to take this iTunes DLL, copy it in here, click Yes, launch iTunes, and if you agree, you're going to see that if you click the iTunes store, it is still not going to work because we're not done yet. So let's move on to the next step. So the next thing you're going to do is install Charles Proxy on a separate machine. So on a machine that is a modern computer, so like Windows 10, Windows 11, or a modern Mac, or a Linux machine if you want to do that. So I already have it installed, so I'm gonna launch my Charles Proxy here. Okay, so with Charles Proxy launched, you are going to want to disable Windows Proxy, and then you are going to want to go to Help SSL Proxying and install Charles root certificate on a mobile device or other browser. Now with that link, you're going to see it'll give you your IP address and your port number. So go back, go to Network and Internet Options, go to Connections, LAN Settings, and simply enter the IP address, which is this number, and then your port number into here. Once saved, you're going to simply click OK. So now you're going to go in Internet Explorer to chls.pro/ssl. So if this comes up, click download file anyway, and click open. And then it is going to ask you to install the certificate, so simply click install, next, finish. And then the new certificate is installed. Once you do that, you're going to want to close out of iTunes, reopen it, and then click, and then you can close that, and then click go to iTunes Store. So I already have this set up from doing this before, but every website that comes up here, you're going to want to right click and click enable SSL proxying. Every link, every website, anything that comes up that is coming from iTunes, you're going to want to do that and right click and click enable SSL proxying. So I'm going to show you that sign in also works. So let me sign into my Apple ID. And you can see now I am in my Apple ID. I can also, if I want, I can go to authorize. You can see it'll successfully authorize. And then you can see I can even go to purchased, for example. I don't have anything purchased on this, but you can see I do have apps that I can download. So let me download YouTube. You can see it'll start downloading YouTube. And now you can see if I go to library, apps, you can see the app is right there. Now, not that you're going to want to do this, but it's funny because this does work. If you click check for updates, it will actually grab the latest version of iTunes. So we're going to not download that. But you can see iTunes 11 is completely fixed. Nothing crazy. It is like a brand new install if you installed this back in 2013. By the way, when you're in the iTunes store, you will notice that this bar up here is completely blank, which would normally have the buttons for like home, music, stuff like that. If you want to go to different parts of the store, just simply click the arrow by the big word, and then you can see it'll let you click on any of the other stores. So yeah, that is Project 10 for you. So stay tuned because I have a Mac fix for this coming up too, which is going to be a Mac video for Project 10 for iTunes 11, which is going to be slightly different. Not too much different, but slightly. And then also stay tuned because hopefully iTunes 10 is coming soon. It'll hopefully be coming in the next couple of months. So stay tuned for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Bye.